we only was allowed to take 1 shower a day. And I told all the females in the barracks, I was like, listen, I'm about to take a shower. I'm in the shower getting it by myself. Next thing you know, I hear this door. Boom! Who in my shower? I immediately froze in the shower. And the next thing you know, I hear another boom. A door opens, and it was the shower door. I'm standing in the middle of the shower. All 8 shower heads are still running, and I'm at parade rest. And I look at the drill sergeant. She looking at me, and I'm looking at her. What's going on, YouTube? I'm Donnell Miles, formerly a drill sergeant at Fort Sill. And today, I'm going to talk about my basic training experience when I went to Fort Jackson back in 2011. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So there I am at 19 years old, sitting in the living room, and I see this Go Army commercial pop up. This was the most intense Go Army commercial I've ever seen. Harriet! Clearly, because this same commercial is what made me go run in my mom's room and tell her I no longer want to join the Air Force. I want to join the Army. So she took me down to the recruiting station in South Carolina, and here I am sitting in a recruiting station at 19, telling them, hey, I would like to join the Army. So let's fast forward a little bit to April 25th, 2011. I'm on my way to basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I remember getting to what's known as the reception battalion, and for some reason, I had on a striped shirt and some male type jeans. I think it was like American Eagle, and they were kind of big around my waist. I had on a belt, and I remember getting to reception, and all I can remember is them saying, take off your belt, take off this, take off that if you have this, and put it in your bag. So I took off my belt, and obviously, like I said, my pants were a little bit big. All I remember is having to roll my pants up to keep them on my waist, and the whole time we're walking, going from place to place, I'm just pulling my pants up. Also remember long hours. You know, we got issued our military clothing. We got issued a lot of the things that we would need for basic training and reception. And I remember just being in the little barracks room, just taking pictures because we had our phone. So we just taking pictures, not knowing how to properly wear the uniform. Now I look back on those pictures and I just laugh. Hat tilt the wrong way, uniform looking all sluggish, boots, the trousers not even tucked inside the boots not properly tied. It was just a mess. But fast forward to the day of actual riding the bus to basic training.
It's about to go down.
So now it's shipping day, and shipping day is the day that you leave reception and you go to actual basic training. And back then they had you get on buses at Fort Jackson. You would get on buses and they would tell you to grab your little laundry bag that you had, put your head down. I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting by the window, so I would try to get a little peek or whatever, but obviously I didn't know where I was at. Now that I know, they probably just took us down the street. But at the time, I was like, man, this is the longest ride ever. And the drill sergeant the whole time, just standing there in the middle, like at the front of the bus, both hands, he never sat down. Bald head, he had his drill sergeant hat like low down like this, and he was very muscular. He gave us instructions to keep our head down. So the bus stopped. The bus stopped and he gave instructions, and I can't really remember what the instructions were, but it was something like, when you get off this bus, you're going to get your bags and you're going to get in formation. We're going to call you by name. You're going to say moving. You're going to keep your bags above the top of your head. You got probably 2 duffel bags plus a laundry bag and your personal bag. It's April 25th, 2011, a week after. It's hot. It's in the summertime, so I'm sweating, drenched. Never sweat like this in my life. I was filled with so many emotions, like, what did I just get myself into? As soon as we got off the bus, the drill sergeants pretty much attacked the bus. Get your bags right now. Just doing the normal drill sergeant thing. So I'm getting my bags. I'm standing there waiting for my roster number or my name to be called. And then my name got called, and I was in Drill Sergeant Lance. I remember my drill sergeant name, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Drill Sergeant Lance, and it was 2 other drill sergeants. I had 2 infantrymen, and I had no female drill sergeants in my platoon. They're moving on. So now it's time to get the females in the barracks. So I hear this short female drill sergeant. She calling out names, and she telling us to go upstairs. So we go upstairs, and I'm just sitting there looking like, what? This is real. Like, it's an open bay. The shower was open, and I think it had like 8 shower heads. There was no curtains. A lot of the stuff that they have now in basic training, that was not a thing. It was open showers. I took a shower next to 7 other females. Like, the most disgusting thing ever, but you had to do what you had to do. This was a part of being a soldier. But the one thing that they said that blew my mind, it was like, you only take 1 shower a day. And I'm sitting there looking like, they must be in the wrong barracks. They must be meant to go say that to the males. You talking about females who have their period once a month. They have to take a shower you only can take 1 shower a day? She's like, you only take 1 shower a day, and that shower will be right before you go to bed. We could not shower at the PT. We would go straight to the barracks and then change into our OCPs and continue sweating throughout the rest of the day. Disgusting. During basic training, I had a lot of encounters with drill sergeants, and some were good and some were bad. So I'm gonna get into a couple of the good ones before I get into the bad one. So the first one I remember at PT, they were asking us, what is the next exercise? So honestly, one of my favorite drill sergeants, I cannot remember his name, but man, he had a long-lasting effect on me. He treated everybody equal. He didn't care if you was a female or male. That standard will be met. And I'm talking about physical standard. When it came to testing out combatives, it did not matter. It was one standard to him, and I respected him so much for that. He asked me, Private Miles, what's the next exercise? I was like, drill sergeant, I do not know the next exercise. He's like, get down and do 5 push-ups. And he waited. He did not continue on with the PT. He waited. He's like, front of repetition, move. I'm like, 1, 2. And we're in cadence. So I'm doing a 1, 2, 3. Y'all, I go all the way down to the ground and come back up, right? Now, I'm not going to lie. I probably had the best form of push-ups in my basic training class. So he looks at me. He said, he gets off the stand. He walks up to me. He's like, Private Miles, you think you the shit? So I got up, positions of attention, parade rest. No, drill sergeant, I do not think I'm the shit. He's like, nah, Private Miles, do you think you the shit? And if you do, say you the shit. It took me a minute before I said it. I was like, yo, is he gonna fuck me up? I don't know if I should but he was hyping me up low key. So I said, yes, drill sergeant, I'm the shit. He was like, say it. So I'm sitting there, yes, drill sergeant, I'm the shit. He's like, that's what I'm talking about. And he walks away and go on a PT stand. And I was just like, did that just fucking happen? That's what's up, y'all. So that's what happened that one time. But let me get into the bad moments, okay? So remember I told you that we only was allowed to take 1 shower a day. So back then in 2011, my drill sergeants had a 3-strike rule. So 3 strikes, you're out. If you get 3 counseling statements for negative behavior, they're going to chapter you out. So I already had 2 counseling statements within 2 weeks, right? So I told myself, and I told all the females in the barracks, I was like, listen, I'm about to take a shower. So the next thing you know, I'm in the shower getting it by myself. I had to have been in there for about 2 strong minutes. Next thing you know, I hear this door. Boom! Who in my shower? My drill sergeant had an accent. So all I hear is that. And I immediately froze in the shower. And the next thing you know, I hear another boom, a door open. So now I done dropped the soap. I'm standing in the middle of the shower. All 8 shower heads are still running, and I'm at parade rest. And I look at the drill sergeant. She looking at me, and I'm looking at her. And she was like, you in my office, time now. Yes, drill sergeant. So I turned off the shower heads, dry off, put on my PTs, whatever uniform we have for that day. I go downstairs, I walked in the CQ area, and my drill sergeant Lance was like, Private Miles, 3 strikes you're out, right? This is going to be your 3rd counseling in 2 weeks. So I'm like, yes, drill sergeant. He's like, what do you do? I was like, drill sergeant, I took a shower. And now, with me being a drill sergeant, I know what that look mean. Like, what the fuck? But back then, it was just a look of, got you. Like, but now, obviously, looking back now, the look he gave me was a look of like, what the fuck? But he didn't want to, obviously, you would never want to discredit another drill sergeant. So I got a council statement, y'all. My third council statement for taking a shower when we were only authorized 1 shower a day. Another bad, sad moment for me was that my drill sergeant looking me in my face and saying, hey, and I'm gonna chapter you out. So I'm sitting there looking like, damn, and it's week 2. And he's sitting there telling me, I'm gonna chapter your ass out, but I'm gonna wait until week 9 to submit the paperwork. So all I know is I'm grinding throughout from week 2, all the way through every competition, everything we did. I'm giving my all. Week 9 rolled around, and it was another drill sergeant from another platoon that had to counsel me. So I remember I'm in the DFAT eating. My second drill sergeant, not the senior drill sergeant Lance. The assistant drill sergeant walks up to me, Private Miles, you need to finish eating, grab a battle buddy, and go down to the CQ. So I go down to the CQ area, and the drill sergeant from another platoon, he's counseling me. He's like, hey, I got to do this. I was told by senior drill sergeant Lance to chapter you, and we're about to final everything out. And he looks at me, and he said, but wait, before you sign this paper, I want you to understand that I see potential in you. Do you want to stay and become a soldier? Because if you do, I will fight for you. All it takes is one person to see the good in someone and to step out on faith to save that person. Here I am. I'm like, drill sergeant, I want to stay in. I want to continue my journey in the United States Army. And he looks at me and he says, okay. He was like, sign this paperwork, and I am going to talk to senior drill sergeant Lance. Next thing you know, I guess he talked to senior sergeant Lance. I get called back probably like a week later or 3 days later. It was probably like 3 days later. And drill sergeant Lance say, hey, instead of chaptering you out, we're going to give you a company grade Article 15. Which at the time, like I said, it was a week or 2 out before graduation. So what he gave, a company grade, he just gave me extra duty. He said you would have 14 days extra duty. So anytime the platoon or the battery was on free time, they was on their personal time, that's what they call it back then, I would have to go to the CQ area and clean up for an hour or until lights out. So once that personal time started until it's 30 minutes before lights out, I would go to the CQ area, sweep, mop, pick leads, and I had to have a battle buddy. So someone else suffered with me. Shout out to my battle buddy back then. Let's get to graduation, right? So I had a company grade. I didn't lose. I was already E1, so my rank didn't get taken, none of that. So it's graduation, right? And it's family day. So my family comes in and we are spending time together, and my uncle comes down. My uncle is a retired sergeant major. Shout out to retired sergeant major Miller. That's my uncle, 30 years in the Army. So he wears his uniform. I mean, of course, and he also lives in Columbia, South Carolina. So it was nothing for him to show up and support his niece. So he comes, and I didn't tell him nothing. I didn't tell him anything about what could have happened to me or anything. So he's like, I want to meet your drill sergeants. So I take him to my drill sergeants, and he walks into CQ, and mind you, this is my first time seeing it. So my uncle walks in first, and all I hear is, "Ades!" Right? So I'm looking like, my drill sergeant just went to, back then, it's hard to register like the rank structure. All you know is you a private, you got to go to parade rest for a drill sergeant. You're not thinking about, okay, these drill sergeants go to parade rest for other people. So they're like, Ades. And I'm like, what the fuck? All my drill sergeants stood up. He walks in, he goes straight to my drill sergeant, talk, whatever. That was that. I left. It was too much tension for me. I stood outside. So after that, they left. So once family day was over, my drill sergeant walks up to me and he's like, hey, why didn't you tell me that your uncle was a retired sergeant major? I honestly didn't think I need to tell anyone. One thing I do want to take away from that is I'm glad that I didn't tell my drill sergeants about any high-ranking service members, retired or active in my family because I didn't want them to judge me based upon what they accomplished in their military career. I wanted to start my own path and lead the way I wanted to. So overall, this is my BCT story. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to this video. Please comment the things that you like about this video, or what you would like to see more of, or what topics you would like me to discuss. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Donnell Miles. God bless.